President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to participate in the 2024 summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. To discuss this in more details, we are joined over the phone by Mr. Rahman, journalist. Hello.
Hello, good morning to you and the viewers.
Good morning, sir. So, talking about the summit taking place and the significance of this summit, especially that actually China declared many different facilities to be provided to the African countries for a better future.
The China's presenting and China's presence in Africa has long and historical roots. Well, first, let me start Chinese-Egyptian relations, which goes back to the year that the Republic of China was established. We have a long history since the beginning of China's republic, and since then we have maintained a sort of strong relations with our Chinese partners, as a leadership or as investments, powers, economically, militarily, politically, at all levels. So I believe that the Chinese presence in the continent is very important and significant and can never be achieved in the proper way without going through the Egyptian gate, the Egyptian guardian and gate, main gate to Africa, to the continent, as the leader of this continent. That's why I believe that Egypt's role is very important and significant to translate the Chinese presence into a mutual understanding and a mutual concept and a mutual interest that gives prosperity and success and sound economical exchange between China and Egypt and the whole of the continent. We have a strong relation with the Chinese leadership right now, and of course it was strengthened in the era of Mr. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi at all levels, militarily, politically, and we share almost the same views towards the most strategic case in the Arabic region, which is the Palestinian case and the Palestinian cause, which is liberating the occupied land from this existence and condemning and confronting the Zionist aggression against the Arabs in the occupied land.
So how do you see the Chinese competitiveness in green technologies? And how do you think Africa can benefit from these modern technologies?
Well, I believe that the Chinese symbol can be applied in Egypt, which is mixing the new technology with maintaining the same identity of the country, of a nation, as a nation. I'm talking nations because the Egyptian nation is the strongest and the oldest nation at Earth on history. We share the same thing with the Chinese nation, which is one of the oldest nations, and that's why keeping the identity and as well as developing the technology and using the green technology measures in our projects, that can be developed together with a close cooperation, as there is no big gaps between the Chinese culture and the Egyptian culture. So that's why we can think side by side and gather together on almost the same concepts.
How does the summit address the challenges in Africa? I mean, the Global Development Initiative, taking into consideration the Agenda of 2063.
Well, I believe that Africa has not it's not used as raw materials, material sources until now in the most proper way. In the past 500 years, Africa was abused, literally, by colonization powers to use their own raw materials and fortunes and gold mines and uranium and cobalt and other mines that Africa is rich of. So it's time for Africa, under the leadership of Egypt, to have this concept, this new vision of how to establish a stronger economical base, and that sort of cooperation with the great powers in the world like China, that maintains the solidarity of the nations in Africa, that prevent any abusing those forces in Africa. With the fine mentality of the Chinese, we can go together in that narrow, hard path. Because together we can build a new concept of the economical development based on the very best results for the nations, for and sound and clear meaning of solidarity to the African nations, as well as achieving prosperity for the same nations in Africa that has suffered for centuries.
There were also some agreements that were signed and memorandums, but to focus more on the Suez Canal zone and the agreements in this respect between both countries, whether we're talking about current projects or upcoming new projects.
Well, the industrial zone, the economical zone in Suez Canal is the golden key for our own mega projects in Egypt, and can be the same golden key for projects to Africa and even the whole region. We are always seeking peace and prosperity for us and all nations and all friendly countries that cooperate with us. So that's why we can achieve more of the course using the Chinese investments, which is a hard and which is high-level investment, and we have the same kind of technology that Egypt and also Africa, which is what we're talking about, the high-tech technology, the green technology, those projects that preserve environment, as well as developing our industries, which is the main challenge. To develop a strong base of industry is the greatest challenge that can preserve our own economy, preserve our own identity, preserve our own solidarity for centuries to come, inshallah.
Well, the automotive industry is very, very important when it comes to investments in general, because we all know that usually the automotive industry or the projects will have many other projects taking place as feeding industry for the main part of this. So there were also talks about taking benefit of this and more cooperations in automotive industry as well.
Well, the automotive industries in Egypt has started early in the 60s, and we have already the Egyptian car since the 60s. Maybe after the wars that we have been through, those projects was delayed, but we have the expertise, we have the roots of the industry, and we have cooperation with too many countries in this field. And now cooperation with the Chinese mentality, the Chinese technology, gathers the very concept that Egypt should seek, which is using the cheap technology and high-tech technology, and for lower prices, and also strong basis of that technology that can be cultivated and re-established in Egypt at the highest level. We have already the great company that was established in the 60s. We can revive the same company, and of course we have accomplished some steps in that matter. The Egyptian company as well as the Chinese companies can get on the same course, establishing that industry in Egypt to have our own project for a new Egyptian car, all made in Egypt.
What other potentialities do we have or being taken into consideration to a better future for the continent in general?
Well, China doesn't have a potential. They have almost all the potentials we should seek cooperating with and developing with and using the Chinese investment in iron cooperation in the field of technology and industry of iron. Electricity component, whatsoever, the cars field. What doesn't China have that we shouldn't seek cooperating, and we have it all, and that's why we can raise the level of cooperation with China and use the Chinese actions that will take in these days, in those last years. We can develop those relations economically, politically, militarily, at all levels, only through the Egyptian mentality, the Egyptian vision, which is the leading of the whole continent.
And the fact that also they promised providing 1 million job opportunities. I mean, especially that we can see now in Egypt, we are preparing the new generation for new sectors, new majors, according to the demands of the market as well.
Well, China has developed that model of economy that provide job opportunity for the new generation, for those who seek stability for their families, and that means a national security nation, whether in China or the same in Egypt. That's why we can take almost the same vision, the Chinese vision, and that's the same vision that we have adopted in the very beginning of Mr. President Sisi's presidency, which is mixing between the private sector and the governmental sector and the military, economical and industrial sector, all together in one line, one strong power that can lead and that can lead the society and bring out the best, the very best of the society, and launching the powers of the society in work and giving more work opportunities for men, for women, for the whole family, for the whole sector of the society. China has accomplished its own model, but almost the same, which is mixing between capitalism and socialism, taking that line in between socialism and capitalism, and taking the best in this and taking the best in that, and mixing them in one course. That's exactly what we should do in Egypt, and that's exactly the way to succeed.
Right. Mr. Abdel Rahman, journalist, thank you very much for joining us. And I guess with this, we come to the end of our breakfast show for today. Thank you all for joining us, and stay tuned for more coming up on Live TV International.